I wish humans can be more like dogs. If you think about it, all a dog really needs is a little love and happiness.
Hey y'all!
What's going on?
Welcome back to Wine, Whiskey, and Tail Wags.
Was that serious?
Gibby?
Okay. This is episode 4. We're moving right along on this journey, helping you guys take better care of them pets at home.
Today we are getting into puppies and kittens. I hope all you guys are doing well out there. Staying safe and snuggly with your pets.
Staying dry too. It's raining where we at.
Mm-hmm.
It's raining where we at. Today we're going to talk about if you're about to buy a puppy or a kitten, things you should look out for, things you want to go through before you take that leap and join the animal world, the dog world. Become a pet lover. Become a whiskey tail.
Mm-hmm. Or just even you're used to owning adult dogs and want to go for a something younger, a little tenderoni.
So I would say, if you're about to buy a puppy, I would say it kind of ties into the other video. I would pick, first, do you want a small dog or a big dog? And you have to kind of know what you're getting yourself into, because you can't say, I want a small dog, but then go buy a pit bull, because they're going to get about 60 to, they could grow up to about 60 to 70 pounds. So I would be very clear on the type of dog that you want and that dog's temperament, meaning if it's gonna, when it's grow up, is it gonna be a couch potato? Is it gonna be high energy? You want to go play all the time? If you're not that type of person, that's an outdoorsy type, you're more of a chill, laid back type, you should definitely consider getting a puppy that will grow up to be a lap dog or a couch potato. So,
I mean, sometimes you can, depending on what dog you get and how you are, they will, kind of blend with your lifestyle. But for the most part, if it's a high energy breed, it's going to be high energy before you get to that chill part.
like your shepherds, everybody love a shepherd. Shepherd is a handful to take care of a shepherd, and with that coat, it's a different story. Brushing, and that's off subject, but you get the point.
Or even like a doodle. Doodles are very sweet dogs. They're very lovable dogs, but they are very, very high energy. Not everybody wants to deal with that.
Another high energy is a schnauzer. They're cute. I love schnauzer just because of the cut, the breed clip that you would give them with the eyebrows and the big masculine beard. That's why I like schnauzers. But they are talkative, very much so. They're mostly screamers than barkers. They scream.
Yappers.
Yeah, and they are high energy. They want to play. They want to.
Miniature schnauzers, mainly.
Mm-hmm. Miniature schnauzers. Giant schnauzers, I mean,
They are the same, but
they're strong too.
yeah, they're good guard dogs.
They are. They actually are guard dogs. Yeah. Well, Americans just make them cute and cut their hair this way. Schnauzers are supposed to guard. Yeah.
Although I would say you don't see too many, well, at least here where we are, we don't see too many standard schnauzers. It's a bunch of miniature schnauzers.
Or I run into a lot of giant schnauzer while I'm grooming. I just love the breed clip. But back on subject.
What are some supplies you're gonna need for a new puppy?
You would need a collar or harness, depending on whichever one you want to, go for, whichever one fits you.
You're gonna change it out often if it's a big breed.
Mm-hmm. Yep, the dog would definitely grow. You're gonna need to get some bowls, food bowls, water bowls. You're gonna need to, if you decide to crate them, kennel them, which I think is kind of a good idea for a puppy.
You should always have a crate.
Yeah, just to have one for a puppy. Now, once you train them and they grow up, you can teach them, just to have their own little area where they chill at. You don't have to crate them or put them in a cage or anything. But dog beds, something you want to buy.
Blankets. Be careful. You're always gonna have to watch your puppy with anything.
Puppies get bored very easily, very quickly too. They will tear up, not chew. Well, chew. But I'm just saying, yeah, they'll tear it up. Yeah, if you leave them unattended, they will love to eat up your carpet, your rugs, your couch. They just, they need attention.
They're toddlers.
They are. They're baby. They are.
Hmm. If you hear it's too quiet for too long, you might want to go check on them. Something ain't right. Training pads. Training pads is something that you might want to invest in, at least for the first couple weeks, depending on the breed. I know a lot of people with small breed dogs, they tend to keep puppy pads, but have a designated area. We don't really do too much with the puppy pads just because we like to start from jump, getting them outside and using the bathroom. We do have our own yard, so that's a plus about that. We don't have to worry about other dogs. It's on other dogs that's not vaccinated coming on the yard and using it. So we don't necessarily have that issue. Even if you're in a apartment complex, you can find a designated area to have them use the bathroom and get them on a schedule. So you starting that early.
Mm-hmm. And what helped with, I'm sorry, what helped with us as far as training our pet to potty pee outside versus inside. We have an older dog, older Yorkie. He's 13 now, so he actually helped us training our puppy. So when we let the older dog out, the puppy watched him. The puppy named Pinky, so he actually helped Pinky um, learn how to use the bathroom outside. So when Pinky see us let Debo outside, he knows that he's going to use the bathroom and come right back. It's not necessarily playtime right now. No, we're going for walks to use the bathroom. So that helped us training. But with the puppy, as far as potty training, you want to take them outside at least every 2 hours, every 2 to 3 hours, just to make so they can get in the habit of we use the bathroom outside. You want to take them to use the bathroom after they eat and after they drink water. Would you say? No, mainly after they eat.
Mainly after you eat.
Right.
When it comes to the water, it's just having them every so often to go use the bathroom. Or if you have a designated area, some people that live in apartments, they'll put the turf on their patio and have them use it there. Or some people do it in their garage. Um, you just whichever area you want to have designated as their bathroom area, you just want to start early because they start learning very early.
Right. The earlier the better, as far as training and get them used to a schedule. You definitely want to put a puppy on a schedule. You don't want to be all over the place. Meaning today, today we eating breakfast at 8, and tomorrow we eat breakfast at 10. No, you need to be on a schedule with the puppy so they can get used to a routine. That's the quickest way to train your animal is to get them used to a daily routine. Same thing every single day.
Especially if you have them on a routine, there's less likely of them doing something you don't want them to do. Because sometimes if you go say you go out take them for a walk the same time every day, they'll get into a pattern of where they know to sit and wait at that time, or if they know, okay, if I after I eat for 10 minutes. I mean, not necessarily they thinking in time like that, but they know, okay, I have to chill for a little bit, and then in a few minutes, I know I'm going to use the bathroom. So routine is very key when it comes to animals, because they learn from our schedule and they learn how to work around that as well. When it comes to food, puppy food, if you have a puppy, you actually want to feed puppy food up to a year, just so they can get all those extra proteins and all those extra nutrients puppies need.
You definitely want to feed them puppy food though. Don't just give them anything. And we know that you pay for what you get, so we're not doing cheap food. We're not no, because that affect them internally plus their coat. So you want to make sure you get them a good brand of dog food.
I'm not a big fan of all stage foods. That's where pretty much you can. It's supposed to be formulated that they can eat it every stage of their life, from puppy to adult to senior. I personally don't care for those. Just because I just feel like, how do I know it has everything, and how do I know my senior dog is going to should be eating this same thing? So me, I prefer strictly puppy food for the puppies, and then you can always change after that 1 year mark to another food you want to put. And that's another thing when it comes to their schedule. feeding schedule when it comes to puppies. You want to feed them 2 to 3 times a day. Knowing how to feed. Usually, most foods, all food bags and the wet food usually have directions on there to show you. So if your dog it's weighing in at 14 pounds, a lot of times it say 14 to 20 pounds for your dog this much, and that amount you would split it over so many course. So for instance, you have a puppy and the puppy is weighing 10 pounds. You read the bag or the canned food that would look for that weight range, and you're going to see it says puppies 10 to 15 pounds, they should be eating one cup or one and one fourth of food. That's for the entire day. So we do for like Pinky and Debo, of course, we have a scoop that's measured, half a scoop. So we'll scoop if they're only need a cup for the day. You can do half a cup in the morning, half a cup at night, or you can even for little baby puppies, if you want to feed them 3 times a day, you can do that. Just split it over 3 meals total.
You don't want to overfeed your dog. People do it all the time too. They just look like they pull half the bag in their bowl and just let them go for what they know. Like, no, you want to measure your dog food. You don't want, just like a human, you don't want to overeat. So don't overfeed your animal. I see me with grooming. I see too many dogs that are overweight, and the owner think it's just the funniest thing, or talk about them, but no, it's not healthy for the dog. And on the food topic, we don't necessarily agree with giving your dog anything to eat, like pizza or whatever you eat for dinner. No, we give them dog food. If anything, we'll switch it up. One day they might have we'll add a little wet food to it.
Chicken broth
to it, but we don't give them chips or bubble gum or
you don't know what's tossed.
Skittles or no. Yeah, you give your dog food, you give them dog treats, plenty of dog treats, bacon, this and
but not too many treats too, because those treats have a lot of calories.
Right.
Just like us eating a donut versus a salad. Donuts are made for human, but we know we shouldn't be eating 2-3 donuts back to back, because of course that's not healthy.
Right. Another thing you can get when you're having a puppy, you can give your dog as many treats as you want to, but we mainly reward good behavior, not just because. And we just don't want them gobbling down treats any chance they get. If it's a good day, we tell them to sit, lay down.
Training.
Yeah, we use treats. We just don't, just happily give them a treat a day. No.
Some people do. Some people do a treat every morning, or
yeah, that's fine.
Treat every night before you go to bed.
You don't want to overdo it. That's what I'm saying. Like she said about the donut, you don't want to give them 3-4 donuts a day.
Yeah, or even every day. We as people shouldn't eat a donut a day. Some dogs, kind of go back to the feeding. Some dogs don't mind. You can sometimes free feed your dog.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You're more likely to be able to free feed a small breed of dog versus a bigger breed, because bigger breeds tend to eat more, and it kind of goes back to when the birthing and when they're with their litter mates. Sometimes larger litter mates, when they have to fight for their food, it comes out when you get the dog and they gobble all their food down, which you don't want them to do. And most small dogs have smaller litter, so they don't necessarily have to fight for food. So it's not like, oh, I have to get this food before it runs out. So, there are some big dogs that can free feed. It's just knowing your pet and making sure they don't get overweight, which is very common. A lot of vets will tell you, hey, your dog is kind of overweight. And most people think, oh, it's no big deal. Or they feel better. It's like, oh, is he overweight? Yeah. And
you know damn well that dog too big. You know that.
Every pet should have a shape, just like the same kind of thing about the Coke bottle. From looking down at a dog, you want them to have that frame as well. If it's just one solid log all the way back, they
be looking like a tick. The body be bigger than the head. Yeah, no, no, no. So you wanna, yeah. Make sure you feed your dog right. Like our dog, Pinky, he's a puppy. He turned 1 years old. His birthday is actually the same day as mine this month. So he turned one this month, but he tear his food up. You know, like we train him to the point where he doesn't eat until we say eat because he will eat the food out of our hand. Like he goes crazy, and I think it goes back to what Sierra said about the litter. You know, they just a lot of breeding. I won't say most, but a lot of breeders just put the food in a big pile and let the dogs go for what they know. And
Or even if mom, because they don't have all the nips. So if they have a very large litter,
right, they gonna fight.
you're gonna have to rotate them. They'll have to be rotated around. So that's something. And then to kind of help with the piranha eaters, gobblers, slow feed bowls. There's other tips and tricks. There's some people say have a few tiny cups and put the meal that you're going to feed, put portion them into little cups and just feed them a little bit at a time.
Oh, I ain't heard that one. Okay.
Yeah, reason or what we do, we just have a regular round bowl. We have a Kong ball that he doesn't destroy. We just put that in the middle so it makes a ring around his food. Another one is a non-tip bowl. If you flip it upside down, you can put the food around because that's that middle that's kind of make them have to work for it. But there's a lot of Sophie bowls. There's some that have like all kinds of puzzles and decorations and patterns on the inside. You don't. I think I said this already, but the reason why you don't want your pet to eat too fast, it's because um, it can cause them to have more flatulence, more gas. They tend to be gassy because as they're eating so fast, they're intaking a lot of air. So that is something, and that's one of the reasons why we would make sure Pinky doesn't eat too fast because he can be a very gassy boy just on a regular. But
He greedy too.
yeah, so
Real greedy.
so that's why it's good. And then another reason why you don't want them to eat too fast because they're eating too fast or just eating and not chewing anything and chewing, they're not getting all the nutrients they need from that food. So sometimes you could be wondering, like, I have them on this really good brand and it doesn't seem like it's doing anything for them. It's because it's not. It's because they're not getting the nutrients they need by eating. It's just kind of just being sucked up and pushed back out the other end.
And a lot of this stuff is noticeable or catchable at a young age when you buy a puppy. When you put the food on the floor, I've heard people say, "Oh, you was hungry when you." No, he eating too fast. He's eating too fast. Everything is not funny when it comes to these animals. Like everything is not cute. Yeah, you have to stay on top of this stuff. I mean, the younger the better. The younger the better. Yeah, because like I mentioned this before too, but when they get older, they'll do what they want to do, eat how they want to eat, and what we do is also when we train Pinky on how to eat when we say eat, um, we pick up his bowl. Puppies, when they start eating, take the bowl away and then give it back. Yeah, take the bowl away and make them sit and wait and give it back. Reason being because kids, a lot of times while your dog is eating, they want to put their hand down there or they want to pet the dog while it eats, and you don't want that dog to turn around and snap and bite the kid. So you, as the owner, once you get him home from day one, you give him food. See how he eats. If he take his time and eat, that's fine. But take the bowl and give it back. Take it and give it back to prevent him snapping at anything that goes near his bowl while he eats.
That's part of that's part of training.
Part of training.
Some dogs, or sometimes when you have a puppy, they might start off as fine, and then all of a sudden they just when they get to that teenage stage where not necessarily rebelling, but showing a little bit more sass, a little bit more attitude. There's been instances where like dogs, they were totally fine, and all of a sudden, if you go buy my food, so that's why we also do that. Make sure he's sitting still, wait. I put the food bowl down, don't you move. And then when it's time to get the bowl up, as soon as you see my hand, you know to stop eating because I'm coming for the food.
Exactly.
Sometimes you have to take extra steps when it comes to that because some dogs can just become possessive with things that kind of go into having a crate. So if you give them their favorite treat and they don't want nobody else to have it, they might take it to their cage and hide it. So the next time you go in there, they're like growling and snapping. You're trying to figure out what the heck is going on. So yeah.
They don't work either. Nope. Like what like you said, their favorite bone, Pinky. He never did it, but I know if we didn't correct him at a when we first got him, yeah, he probably would do it now. Cause anytime he get a bone or some type of treat, he go crazy. He get real hyper about it. So yeah, you get it when I say get it. When you can have it, yeah.
Gentle.
Yep, we tell him gentle so he won't be snapping at our fingers. And when I'm ready to take it away, that's enough. I go grab the bone, and he's not gonna bite you. He's not gonna because he used to. Okay, it's he's still gonna want it, but he's not gonna try to bite me or anything. So
Because you walking over and then they can tell. I mean, that's also part of routine too. Because once you have a routine, they kind of learn that routine and know when it's time for this, time for that, time to play, stuff like that. Exercise your puppies.
absolutely,
Whether it's a high energy one or a low energy one, exercise them all. If you have a high energy puppy, you're gonna have to exercise them more. Consider putting them in doggy daycare. I think doggy daycare is a really great thing that's provided for pet parents. Um, for some dogs, no, it's not something they should go to every single day. But some dogs, they might need it every single day. I knew.
a lot of folks be leaving their dogs at them boarding facility. They buy it and then go.
Yeah, that's a whole nother story when you board them and just leave them. But just doggy daycare to exercise. So like, if you're a person that works a regular 9 to 5 or do some have just have a busy schedule, doggy daycare is a great way for them to exercise, socializing. That teaches them how to socialize with other dogs and other people because there's many places that have different workers that's changed out sometimes, and then they get to learn different breeds. And honestly, from working at doggy daycare, it's actually kind of funny to see like how dogs like teach another dog or correct another dog in a good way, or just watching dogs watch other dogs and they're like you can see the clock ticking and they're learning how to do certain things. So that's why I say doggy daycare is good. And it also keeps them on a schedule too, because most doggy daycare places have a walking schedule, feeding schedule, playtime schedule. So that's good for them to exercise their brain and exercise their body.
Build a routine.
Some dogs, there's some places that offer athletic clubs. That's where they play pretty much all day. I actually knew one dog. It was a boxer. So boxers is a pretty high energy breed.
What you call him? You said the clown of the dog?
Yeah, they're goofy. I love boxers because they're just that butt wiggle does something to me. Something about that butt wiggle. but this dog this dog, she was very sweet, very good for doggy daycare, but didn't realize it till one day I asked her dad, like, no, the dad came on and said, was like, oh, we do a 5 mile run every day before she gets here. I'm like, are you serious?
And she still plays all day?
Still plays all day. She's in the athletic. I mean, I wouldn't say all day. Of course, she of course crashes, not necessarily crashes, but falls asleep. But it was just crazy to like think that like she goes for a run every morning, then goes to play
all day long.
So that's what it takes for that family to be able to go home and relax and have her calm and stuff like that. That's something you want to think about. Like if you have a dog and you just feel like they're just too rambunctious, just doing stuff, and they can never seem to calm down, it's probably because they have a lot of energy pent up. So that's something you have to think about. You can't get frustrated just because the dog won't sit down. Probably because he wants to play. Probably because he's been sitting around all day looking for stuff to get into, but hasn't exercised the way he wants to. And that also helps keep with maintaining body weight as well.
Speaking of socialization, it's good to get your dog around different dogs at a young age. We talked about the boarding facility, but no, taking your dog on dog walks like at a dog park. And it's also good to teach your dog strangers at a young age. Dogs can automatically sense a threat, but it's good for them to know good energy. It's good for them to know, a good dog too. So they won't try to. You wonder why every time a company comes over, you have to put your dog up. It's because they don't know anybody but you. So everybody's a threat. No, at a young age, you invite company over, or take them to dog parks, and if it's a stranger approach, let them sit, and you and the stranger talk and everything, and the dog see everything is cool. Not every human is a bad person. And the same thing with other dogs. You want them to meet as many dogs as possible, so they won't try to bite every dog.
Exactly. Or they can learn how to play. Because some dogs, it comes down to simply they just don't understand playing.
Right? They never played with another dog. They never seen one.
So they just know, they think playing is nipping and stuff like that. Not also, or they think playing with a dog is just dominating them, which is not always the case. So yeah, definitely socialize as early as you can, but as long as your pet and the pet that your pet is socializing with is vaccinated. Because of course, when it comes to puppies, they're not finished with their vaccine series until 16 weeks. One more time for the people in the back. Vaccinations, kittens and puppies are not finished or not completed until 16 weeks. So if you start at 6 weeks, you're going to do 6 weeks. You're going to do about the 11-week range, 11, 12-week range. And then you're going to do the 15, 16-week range. Some places, I know a lot of breeders tend to start vaccinating early because they have litters. Sorry, don't let your breeder convince you thinking that they're done with all their vaccinations and you just got the puppy at 8 weeks. He still needs vaccinations. Deworming as well.
Your breeder tell you a whole bunch of stuff. That ain't true.
Yes. But then again, there are so many ranges when it comes to breeders. There are top tier breeders.
Yeah, not all of them are bad.
No, not all of them are bad. There's some top tier breeders, but I would say, because it seems like everybody thinks they could be a breeder just because they have a female and a male. And that's where you get into issues of not knowing the quality of life of the puppy, genetics and stuff like that. So it's nothing wrong listening to the breeder, but you also definitely have to do your own research. Talk to your vet. Listen to your vet. Your vet knows more than your breeder.
Absolutely. Guaranteed.
Because you wouldn't be, well, I'm pretty sure you know, but you wouldn't be surprised the amount of time I'm talking to people, pet parents, and they're like, oh no, they're done with everything. I'm like, well, we usually like to vaccinate through 16 weeks. Well, the breeder told me they're finished. They already had their 3 series.
Like when you just want to know, I mean, now if the breeder was telling the truth, then I understand. But when you just want to know, being your own pet parent, like, I got this done on this date.
They just, because it kind of goes back to, if you're an animal person or if you work with animals, you know everything about animals. So as a breeder, people thinking, oh, you're a breeder, you must know everything about puppies, when it's like they know some things, but sometimes they don't know everything. You can start vaccinating fairly early. Some will start at 6 weeks. Some people vaccinate every 2 weeks, which it is a lot to vaccinate every 2 weeks, but that's only if you're getting a pet from Petland. Not to throw no shade, but if you're getting a pet from certain places that kind of runs with a whole lot of dogs, they probably going to vaccinate more often because there's a higher chance for sickness to spread around there. But if you're getting it from just a breeder that has their own and that's replicable, they usually give you information, the date they were born. You definitely should look at your breeder sideways if they can't seem to remember anything, because then it's gonna be like, are you sure these dogs came from you?
Like, nah, I just had a female, and my partner had a male, and we just made it do it.
Or sometimes they're breeding like siblings, and too much inbreeding, which is not good, and you wonder why your dog is kind of out there, and it's simply because their genetics is just
absolutely
kind of messed up. So you just want to be mindful about that.
Honestly, I mean, if you do, training and socialization and when they're a puppy, the rest of their life will be a breeze. They'll be on a routine. They know right from wrong early. Yeah, you won't have to stay on top of them for their whole life. Yeah, the earlier the better. Even with grooming, I would say 8 weeks, maybe 12 weeks.
You get them started, yeah. At least bath, bathing them, playing with their feet.
Playing with their feet for those nails.
Put your finger in their ears if you want to, if you need to clean their ears, just so that when you do bring them to your local groomer, or you have a mobile groomer that comes out to you, they're able to do everything you want them to do, because everybody wants a show dog. Wants their dog to look like a show dog, but your dog doesn't act like a show dog on the table.
Not at all.
Or even for bringing them to the vet. A lot of people don't like doing sedations or mild sedations for their pet because their pet's aggressive. But if you want your vet to do what they need to do and your pet's aggressive, unfortunately, you're going to have to give them a mild sedation. But that's where socializing comes into play. It's never, I'm pretty sure, I know with the COVID and everything, things have changed, but sometimes stop by your full service or a place that you go bring your pet to. Like at where I work, we tell people to stop by for happy visits, just so it's not, because I mean, pets do, in a sense, deal with PTSD, traumatic experiences, because so many strange things happening, or I mean, when it comes to clipping nails, sometimes you can quick them, but that's where it comes to just working with them. As I say, do happy visits. Go keep visit every so often, just so they can become socialized with the people that's taking care of them as well. So the next time you go in for vaccines, it's a breeze and it's not much trouble and stuff like that. Of course, pets have just like people, certain things that they're just not going to deal with.
They just don't like. Yeah.
You just got to work with it and work on it.
I mean, most of it takes repetition. The more you stay on top of it, the easier it gets. The more you keep enforcing no's and sits and downs, it'll stick. They know, no, sit, get down. So. That's as far as puppy. As far as kitten, though, what's some of the things you would need if you're about to bring a kitten home?
It's kind of similar to when just getting a cat. You want to have your litter boxes, your scoopers.
How many litter boxes if you get one cat?
If you're getting one kitten,
I'm sorry.
Of course, the first day you can probably start with one, but of course you always want to move up to multiple, because you want to give your pet options. Just so that you have less likely of having accidents. For kittens, it's almost, mom teaches them how to kind of use the bathroom.
Does she?
Kind of, in a way. And then it's kind of instinctual too, because there's kittens that as soon as mom had them, she kind of just went her own way, and they kind of figured, it's kind of ingrained natural instincts too.
Okay.
So when you do have it's very, very, very easy to train the litter box. It really doesn't even take much training. Because for what I did for like Freddie and every other cat, even if it's an adult cat, pretty much I get the litter box, put the litter in it, and I put their feet in it, and I make their feet actually kind of scoot. Especially for kittens, if they're not quite getting it, it can help them, like, okay, that's what you do. So usually doesn't take much training. It's just more so, okay, why is my cat using the bathroom somewhere? You got to kind of pinpoint why. There can be list of reasons why. Something simple as stray cat outside and makes your kitten feel funny, so he doesn't want to use it there. So you might want to move it to another area of the house so they can't see the stray kitten. Could be simply they don't like the smell of the room.
Yeah. Or they, want somewhere secluded. And I have seen on YouTube a lady had hers in the closet, the litter box in the closet. So they like a little, just like you like the bathroom.
Yeah, they like privacy. They do like privacy. That's something that people don't realize. When you do have multiple kittens or cats, and you have one that uses the bathroom and one that likes to sit and watch the other one use the bathroom, or likes to hit his head, like that can make a cat not want to use the bathroom either. So that's something you have to take in consideration as well. Some other things when it comes to kittens, of course, food bowl, water bowl. Always say stainless steel, ceramic bowls, of course. It's less likely to have any skin irritants, especially when it comes to even dogs, because some dogs can have that puppy acne type of thing on their chin. Cats can get that around their mouth sometimes. So that's why staying on top of cleaning their food and water bowls and trying to stay away from plastic wear as well. Um, for kittens, you can put a collar on them. It's kind of personal preference, more so thing. Of course, a kitten, a bell. Most cat. Speaking of, for tiny, tiny dogs, you put a cat collar on them so you don't lose them in the house.
Like a chihuahua.
Especially if you get it's a puppy, they're like the size of your hand. Get them a cat collar, so if they happen to walk under the couch, you can hear where they are. Same thing for kittens. I mean, that's why it's it is a good to have a collar on, because if they like to hide and sneak attack you, kind of catch them before they do. Especially if you're like handling business and not trying to get sneak attack, or just don't want to step on your pet, because pets like to weave and dodge between people's legs. So that's good. That's a good thing to have. Um, Although for our cats, we didn't really put. I think Freddie had a collar on him for a little bit.
I'm gonna say 2 weeks, maybe a week. A week, yeah. We just don't use them.
No, yeah. If they were going out somewhere, maybe.
I guess we'll put it on, but yeah.
Collars is, to me, it's just more so looks good, makes the parent happy.
It's cute with his little bell.
There are pet water fountains too that you can do for pets as well. Might want to start that a little bit earlier, just because if a pet not used to like a fountain and they see some water coming out of some,
They
might freak out. Cats like to play in water. Jason used to play in water. I don't think he does it as much anymore. But when we first got Jason, I used to think it was very dog-like. So he used to clean his feet. So he'll get to the water bowl, do the little swoosh, 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 and then he starts drinking on the floor. It's like he's cleaning his feet on the floor before he drinks.
I just thought it was weird.
I thought it was cute. That sometimes it's like he couldn't. It's like he knew what water was, but he was like still curious about it, because he'll try to sniff it and get so close that his nose dip in it, or you'll see him doing this. We did have a water jug thing for them. Couldn't keep it up because of Jason.
He knock it over.
Because he just upset. He'll see the bubble go up and want to knock it over.
But he hates baths.
Hates the baths. Yeah.
He hates baths. So you knock over that water thing, you about to get a bath.
Spray bottles.
As far for discipline.
Yeah. Cats, kittens, and dogs. Spray bottle.
Spray bottles. Meaning, if they do something you don't like, spray them with the spray bottle. Don't hit them. Don't abuse your animals. Do not. Nope.
Don't do the rolled up newspaper thing.
Yeah, no. I done heard worse than rolled up newspapers. But yeah, no. I mean, bad as you want to. Pinky be pissing me off. But, you just got to take a deep breath. Pinky, stop. Sit. No, but mean it, though. Don't be like, no, 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 no. No, say no one time.
You have to have bass in your voice.
Yeah. Don't. No, stop. Hey, stop. Get down. No, get down.
That's why pets don't listen to kids.
Right.
Because kids don't know how to put bass in their voice unless you teach them how to do that. But for the most part, pets don't always respect kids because kids don't know. And that's why you also have patience, because pets, they don't speak English, once again. So they don't understand everything you're saying or everything that you want them to. Or if you have a conversation with somebody and they're like trying to be in your face, they just see people and just want attention. So you can't get frustrated.
Yeah. Takes a lot of patience with both puppy, kitten, dog, cat. Yeah, you just have to have patience. And
interactive toys. Get interactive toys, ones that, like cats, there's like laser toys that will do the laser by itself. There's like little treat things that shoot the treats out at cats and dogs.
You should get one of them.
There's the ball one where the dog teach him how to pick up the ball and put it in the hole, and that shoots back out at them. So thinking about interactive thing. Going back to the biting.
I was gonna add it on the end.
Okay.
Was you done with kittens? I was gonna add that on the. I remember. As As far as kittens, though, you want litter boxes, kitten food. Don't just give them regular cat food.
Scratching posts, cat beds.
Scratch and post cat trees, same thing. No, it's not.
Yes and no. Most cat trees have scratchers on it, and just the feeling of the rug makes them want to do it. But a scratching post, there are some that's just posts with rope wrapped around it just for scratching. I seen something the other day. I was like, maybe, which is like scratching mat for the couch. So you put it over the couch.
Oh, okay. That's a great idea.
I'm like on the fence of it because I'm like, it's cool, but at the same time, if you put it on one couch, would you have to put it on all of them? Because that's also ingraining them to
They can do it on the
they
couch.
can do it on the couch. So that's why I'm like, it's nice, but I don't know. But cats like to bite too. They go through teething phases, have cat toys, mouses.
It's a lot of cat toys too, like screens with feathers and springs and mouses and yeah,
I was just gonna say each cat actually have their own preference.
of what they like.
Yeah, like Freddie, when we first got him, he doesn't as much, probably because all the dogs keep puppies we've seen chewing them all up.
Yeah, tearing up their toys.
Freddie, he likes the tiny little mousies. And he used to like, and run over places.
And flip it up in the air.
Yeah, Jason, he's a spring boy.
He likes spring. Love them.
Freddie likes strings too. Freddie likes strings, so like if you happen to have a string dangling, he's gonna probably come for it. Jason's more so a spring boy.
He loves to throw the spring and he'll just take off and kick it around the floor, and I mean that keeps him.
He sets it up for himself too.
He does.
So he'll take the spring, drop it right there, come walk back here, and then watch it, just to pounce back onto it. So, which is kind of funny that he does that for himself.
And I want to go back, touch on something about puppies. Puppies go through a biting phase.
I feel like both do.
Cats do too. Well, see, the cats didn't bite me though.
It's because they were a little bit older.
Oh, okay. They definitely go through a biting phase. What is it? Teething for a dog? Same thing. So from about 2 months till about 10 months. That's how long it took Pinky.
It kind of depends. It depends on the breed because
And Pinky's a pit bull.
I mean, Pinky doesn't bite us or
Yeah.
anything like that.
He just want to bite something.
Yeah, when he gets his toy, once he feels the texture after when he gets bored, he's like, I want to chew. But it's a little bit boredom, a little bit, because he lost all his puppy teeth. But some things you can do, put their chew toy in the freezer to kind of freeze it.
Just like a baby.
You put ice, give him some ice to chew on. Some dogs like ice.
He love ice.
Freeze some peanut butter.
He love peanut butter.
But there are different toys out there. There's more and more coming out for big chewers, tough chewers, bully made toys that supposed because they say bullies chew more.
But no, I say that to say that your dog is gonna go through a biting phase. So don't think, why you keep biting me? No, he's a puppy. He's losing his puppy teeth, getting his big dog teeth, and just be prepared. And when he get the biting on the carpet or the rug, give him a toy or give him something. He just want to bite something. It ain't, he not been a butthole. He's not being an asshole. He just, he want to bite something. There's some things to think about. You had something to say?
No, I was just trying to think of if there was anything else. Microchipping, of course. Carriers. We didn't talk too much about carriers.
For cats?
And dogs, too. Some people like to carry their dogs in carriers. If you're taking your cat to the vet, even if your cat does well on a leash and harness, put your cat in a carrier because you never know what can happen. And that minimizes stress before going into the vet as well. Just a little tip. All right, my wine tails. This is it for another episode.
Number 4.
Episode 4. And all the whiskey tails out there as well.
And again, we thank you guys for joining us on this journey of helping you guys take better care of your pets. Look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you.
Have a great one.
I wish humans could be more like dogs. If you think about it, All a dog really needs is a little love and happiness.